Double mark. Hey everybody, this is James, and this is kind of going to be like introduction number 2 to my channel, because when I was doing the first intro, our live studio audience started to bark, and it was the 4-legged type of audience member, and you know how those kinds of audience members can be when you're filming in a live outdoor studio setting. So anyhow, in this introduction video, the last one I kind of covered about my channel some, but this one I'm going to kind of talk more about myself. Because, you know, you watch my videos and things, but who's this guy James, you know? Well, I was born in Austin, Texas. I currently live in Dallas, Texas. I was raised in East Texas. And, what am I ethnically? I'm not sure. But I'm a white guy, I guess. And I don't know if I'm part Native American. I'm still kind of trying to study that part of my genealogy. But my mother's father was British, and they researched their ancestry a lot. And some of them were partly Scandinavian, which Scandinavia is the very northern part of Europe, of Norway, Sweden, and Norway, Sweden, and there's another country up there, Finland, thank you. And then, but anyhow, those British relatives, so I'm 1/4 British, and it's thought that they probably came from Ireland or Scotland, but it's not sure, but they could have been from both places. And my mother's mother is Bohemian. And that's kind of an interesting quality to have in yourself, because people kind of think about the Bohemian culture, and to be actually 1/4 Bohemian kind of makes life interesting for me, because I'm not really out to impress people, but I do like to present myself well. And anyhow, the region of Bohemia used to be a part of, never really was its own country, and I think that's because the people just plain didn't care. They were interested in other things other than politics. They didn't want to play politics, but I've heard that Bohemians tend to be talented artistically, like especially musically. And I do know that my mother said that one of my Bohemian relatives, they knew how to play almost every instrument that was around back, you know, before electronic type music. But Bohemia, because they weren't really their own country, they were part of other countries. And for a while it was part of Germany, and another time it was a part of Austria, another time it was part of Hungary, and it's been a part of Austria-Hungary. And it was during the Holy Roman Empire was probably the only time that it had actual borders just for itself, with its own kind of leader. And then finally it was part of the Czechoslovakia Republic, and so now they changed their name, and now it's part of the Czech Republic. So I guess maybe I'm part Czech, German, Austria, Hungarian, whatever. Anyhow, my dad's side of the family, my dad's mother is full-blood German. She had red hair, she was short, and she was from the Bohemian region of Germany. And I guess Bavarian region, sorry about that. And I guess the Bavarian region was kind of considered like High German, or kind of a step above, or I don't know. But, and then there's my dad's dad, and I'm not quite sure about his genealogy. I think my dad's father's side of the family have been in the United States the longest. And because I went to the town where my grandfather was born, and there were many people that had my last name there, and which kind of showed me that they had been there probably 4 or 5 generations to have that many people in that town by that last name. I'm kind of looking around, because you never know when a studio audience member might show up. So anyhow, plus it's a really cool day. It's nice and clear. I can even see the moon, It's about 6 p.m. and I'm trying to get maybe another video in before it gets dark because I love recording outside. I love how the natural lighting and the fresh air, and it's sitting in the shade, and it's not too hot today. It's summertime in August, and it can get up to 100 every day, but sitting here in the shade, I'd say it's about 90 degrees. And anyhow, what about myself? I'm living here in Dallas. I live in a place that's considered apartment condos. Some people own their own units, some people own their rent their apartments, all in the same complex. I love being outside. I love staying busy. I love doing entrepreneurial type things. I've been selling things on eBay off and on, and really focus on the Christmas season. But it's summertime now, and I list things on eBay just waiting for them to sell for Christmas season. Kind of for fun, I like to do Amazon Turk, and if you haven't ever tried it, you might check it out. You can't make much money on it, but you know, if you're bored, it's something to do. And there's a lot of things to do on it, like surveys, and I kind of like doing like the political surveys because I kind of wonder who's paying to have these surveys done. If it's Donald Trump or whoever's in office that's trying to figure out their next move and impress the public, or other political leaders. Sometimes they've even rated campaign type things. They'll ask me about national, international, current events type things. Sometimes it's just personality tests or things like that, or testing a new app, sometimes testing a new game. And but then sometimes it's little tasks, like they'll show me a picture and they just want a caption for it. And but that's something else I do. Sometimes I sell plants. I thought about getting certified to do that again because technically you are supposed to be certified, but I love tropical plants. I think they're cool. I wish I lived in the tropics, and I'd like to get some banana trees because they're cool. But I have a lot of elephant ear type plants because they make the big leaves, and other tropical plants. Anyhow, I like living in Dallas. I live about 12 miles northeast of downtown, so I'm not really like in the heart of the city. And where I live, one side of the apartments is where a college is, and there's about 1 square mile there. And here's my friend Val, and she's my studio audience member here while I'm recording. But anyhow, I'm doing well. How are you? I'm making some YouTube videos now, so maybe I'll make some money on there. Yeah, but there's your doggy too. And so we haven't had very many studio audience members today, but anyhow. But I think I talked about all I know what to talk about right now, so maybe I'll do another get to know me video sometime, or ask me some questions. I like doing Q&A type stuff because I don't know what you want to know. So anyhow, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Hey girl.